What's up, YouTube? This is my vampire deck profile. I've been wanting to bring to you guys for a while now, and I just decided to say screw it and go ahead and bring it to y'all because I'd been posting a couple videos. Haven't really posted anything in a while because, well, life happens and you gotta work and you gotta make money, and I've been in a lot of pain lately because I'm having a root canal and all this other stuff done, so fun, right? Wish me luck tomorrow, guys. I gotta spend like 3 to 4 hours on a friggin' dentist chair. I think if you want to be a torture person in modern day, you need to become a dentist. These guys are evil. Well, on to the deck profile. Testing out my new phone camera. I got a new phone a while back, LG G3, so I'm seeing how it's gonna do. So, for monsters, I'm playing one Vampire Lord. I randomly found an Ultra at my locals the other weekend, and I decided to have to throw it in. I had room, so why not, right? The original Vampire. It's a level 5 dark, so works out. 3 Vampire Shadow, 3 Shadow Vampire. The engine of the deck, really, the heart and soul. The main monster you want to see, the main vampire you want to see first, if not the Shadow, the Vampire Sorcerer. So if you don't know what he does, because vampires are kind of underrated, when he's normal summoned, you can special summon one vampire monster from your deck. Let's see if that'll focus. Ooh, that's nice focus. So his card is normal summon. You can special summon one dark vampire monster from your deck except this card. And if you do, that's the only monster you can attack this turn. Not that big a deal. Your main target is going to be this guy, if you haven't already gotten him, or the next card I'm about to show you, which is Vampire Duke. Probably the second part of the engine. Vampire Duke, y'all don't know what he does. Got a lot of text, see if it'll zoom. There we go. So when this card is normal summon, you can target one dark vampire monster. You can in your graveyard and special summon it and face up defense. Its other effect is, if you didn't pause it and read it already, is when this card is special summoned, you can call monster, spell, or trap, and your opponent chooses one of those cards and sends it from the deck to the graveyard. That effect can only be used once this turn. So you can't loop it, unfortunately, which you could do if it wasn't a once per turn skill. The Vampire Lord does a similar effect. He's the original vampire. I probably should have explained his effect. If y'all really should know what he does if you played this game for any amount of time. Level 5 Vampire, 2k attack. When this card deals damage, call a monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent sends ones of those declared cards from the deck to the graveyard. Works out fine. And for the last bit of vampires, I am playing 3 Vampire Sorcerer. Your search engine and how you summon your vampires really easily. So you can banish this card from your graveyard, and you can normal summon one vampire monster from your hand without tributing. So if you were playing the level 8 Vampire Vamp or the level 6 or whatever, you could do those too. Her other effect is when this card is destroyed, let's see. If this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, you can add one dark vampire monster or one vampire spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard to add, to normal summon one dark vampire. So, it's really good, very versatile. You can search and deck thin and shenanigans. So the deck's pretty consistent, actually, so probably one of the best cards. I hate that it says in your possession, because one of my favorite troll cards is Creature Swap. So unfortunately, you can't really benefit off of creature swapping her. 3 Mizuki. Mizuki's just too good of a card. I'm so glad it finally came back to 3. Unfortunately, though, doesn't really do much in the metagame now that it's back to 3. Should have come back to 3 a long time ago. So, 3 Goblin Zombie. Like I said, I wanted to bring this deck to y'all once I had it like 100% the way I wanted, which is what I mean by that is shiny. and a couple extra deck cards. So, but the main deck is done. So 3 Goblin Zombie. If you don't know what Mizuki does, you can banish him from your grave and special summon 1 zombie type monster from your graveyard. Mizuki is when he's destroyed, you can add a zombie monster from your deck to your hand with 1500 or less defense. And when he deals damage, your opponent sends the top card of their deck to the graveyard. 2 zombie masters. Essentially, it's a bad version of Lumina. Level 4 Dark 18 attack when you can discard 1 monster to special summon 1 zombie monster from your grave. Either player's grave, I think. Whatever. Pretty good if you're playing Zombie World, but meh. 2 Plague Spreader Zombie, level 2 Tuner. Top of deck, special summon him. When he leaves the field, banish him. 2 Dark Griffer. Because you have a lot of level 5s in hands you don't really necessarily want in hand. You can also special summon him, making it easy to tribute for your Vampire Vamp first turn and go off. Helps you deck thin and etc. etc. Discard a level 5 or higher monster, special summon him. And you can discard a dark monster to send a dark monster from your deck to your hand. From your deck to grave. Discard 1 from hand, just send 1 from deck to grave. There you go. And you gotta play the daddy of all darks, Dark Arm Dragon. It's Dark Arm Dragon. Banish a card, pop a card. 2 Vampire Kingdom, field spell. When a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, you can destroy 1 card on the field. This effect can only be used once per turn. Once that turn or whatever, sorry. So, really good matchup against Lightsworns. Free destruction. You get to destroy their cards for their effects. Pretty much they destroy their own shit with this card. Vampire monster that battles. Gains 500 attack during the damage step only, which is really nice, so. 2 Book of Lives. You can put in a Soul Charge and 1 Book of Life if you want. But everything revolves on the grave nowadays. That's meta. So most decks always do, but it's a monster reborn essentially. So special summon a zombie, banish a monster from your opponent's grave. A little tidbit though: if your opponent does not have a monster in their grave, you cannot special summon a zombie. So just keep that in mind. 2 Rhoda, Reinforcement of the Army. I play 2 because I want to see my Griffer early. I want to be able to deck fin as fast as possible. 1 Transmodify, get into your zombies a lot faster. Works very well. 1 Foolish Burial. Again, set up your graveyard. And 1 Dark Hole. That rounds off the spells. For traps, I am playing 1 Vampire Takeover. Allows me to set up my field spell with little but no cost and get a plus at the backside. And instead of playing Terraforming, this card's really good. Normal trap card. You can only activate this card if you have at least 1 monster on the field and it has to be a zombie. Okay, so you can only activate this card if you have 1 zombie type monster, at least 1 on the field you control. And no field spell. You can activate 1 Vampire Kingdom, which is the field spell, from your deck, and then special summon 1 dark vampire monster from your graveyard. Works very well. So, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Defrizen. You can just go 2 Mirror Force, 2 Defrizen. I just like the versatility. 1 Torrential, 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless, 1 Warning, 1 Wiretap. My friend's going to hate on me for this, but 7 Tools of the Bandit is in my other deck, and I can't seem to find my common I put somewhere, so this really should be a 7 Tools just because I don't like Wiretap personally, but I don't like changing cards from deck to deck, so this should be a 7 Tools. So, screw you, Aiden. For my extra deck, Bills, Revive King, probably the hardest card in the deck for me to find. I was able to pick up an Ulti Dad easier than I was our Ultra Revive King hot as. 1 Doom Kaiser for those weird matchups. 1 and 2 and 1. So 1 Adrius, 2 Vampire, and 1 Key Beetle. That's the deck, guys. Hope you liked it. And don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace, YouTube.